Yes, everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Stephen House, and this is a tactical look at Manchester United 0-0 draw in Manchester City in the Manchester derby. And as the title says, I think it was cowardly. And I think it was cowardly from both managers. Nobody wants to see draws in football, but it did feel like it was a game where two managers could not lose this game. Manchester City, if they'd lost it, I mean, obviously Pep Guardiola's had a lot of recent success with Manchester City, but as it stands right now, he's devoid of the sort of star players that he had at his disposal when he arrived at Manchester City. He's working with a lot of players he's signed, and a lot of them are not good enough to be maintaining the sort of form that he saw under a lot of the reign he's at Manchester City. And I think he would quite rightly be under pressure for the absolutely eye-watering sums that he spent while he's been at the club. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the same, obviously just crashing out of the Champions League last week, coming into a game, have had pretty poor home form so far this season, quite dismal home form, losing this game, pretty catastrophic for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And what result? 0-0 and an absolute snooze fest, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute snooze fest. So we missed the opportunity to win 3 games in a row versus City for the first time since a 4-game run that we had between 2008 and 2010. We are now unbeaten in 5 Premier League games with 4 wins, but have won just 1 of 6 home league matches. And that's where we've got to fix up. If we'd have started winning some of those, we'd have been in. I mean, we're 4 points off top on the level games, above Manchester City, just before Christmas. Not bad going in the grand scheme of things, I would say. But we've also failed to score in 3 home league games this season, which is one more than the whole of the last campaign in its entirety at Old Trafford. And just 25% of United's points in the league this year have been won at home. And yeah, what a boring game. Since conceding 6 from 8 shots at Tottenham, United have only conceded 1 from 7 shots on target in the last 4 home games. That's a great amount of shots on target to restrict our opponents to. Harry Maguire, I thought, had an excellent game, as did Luke Shaw, for anyone that's about to jump all over us. Don't act like he plays like that every week, because he doesn't. But Luke Shaw today, 100% aerials won, 100% tackles won, 5 ball recoveries, 3 interceptions, 3 blocks, 2 clearances, and obviously got a clean sheet. Also thought Scott McTominay was quite important to Manchester United today. Scott with 100% take on success, not usually his game, but 88 pass accuracy, 8 ball recoveries, 3 fouls committed, 3 attempted tackles, 2 which he won, and 2 clearances. It was a decent little performance from him. And I think if you had to look at what was going on with United, he had a pretty decent part to play in it. Now, if I was to look at where I think United struggled and where we could have improved in this game, let's pull up the starting 11 and let's have a look. So let's get this up. It's there. So obviously this is how we lined up. And actually the way it ended up being was Pogba was on the left. McTominay was down here alongside Fred. Bruno was in the 10. It turned out Mason was on the right with Marcus being down the centre. More of a 4-2-3-1 really than what we all thought it was going to be with a 4-4-2 diamond. Manchester United struggled playing it out the back. Now, actually, this represents a lot of why. Manchester City basically marked all of these players, all of these 6 players, outfield players, and United couldn't pass the ball. United kind of knocked it around along the back 4, really struggling to try and find or trust Fred and McTominay with the ball there. Now, for me, we didn't utilise Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba on the left side there could have been a nice crossfield ball that we look for. Fantastic in the air, Paul Pogba, physically able to hold it up. And if we weren't using Paul Pogba as an outlet there, we should have maybe brought in Van der Beek in the McTominay position to be able to throw it in there. But I think what Scott did defensively was justifying his place. It was just the major issue for me was United was penned in into our own third by Manchester City's sort of high block. If we weren't using Pogba there, what I'd like to see us do is to rotate Pogba and Marcus Rashford. Say, Marcus, you get involved in a build-up play back here because you're not really going to win it in the air. And let's have Pogba up in the high line here where he can be effective, where we can get a big diagonal towards him and we can have Bruno running off him and we can have Marcus come steaming in, and he can lay them guys off it. And that, I think, is where we really could have started to cause Manchester City some problems. We needed to have the ball higher up the pitch. We didn't get the ball higher up the pitch, and for me, that was a massive issue in why we weren't effective against Manchester City. I'm going to come to... press the wrong one. I'm going to come to expected goals and have a look at that, because it doesn't bode well for us. It's not a good look for United there. Manchester City with 1.28 expected goals. United with 0.59 expected goals. As expected, City created the better of the chances. United had maybe more numerous chances, but City had the higher quality of chances, and according to expected goals, potentially should have been a little bit better with what they got. Maybe it was worth nicking it with a cheeky goal. A couple of people asking for specific stats on certain players, so let's pull those up and let's see what we've got for those then. So I'll pull Stat Zone up so you guys can see it. Let's have a look at the individual players then. So Paul Pogba today, one shot from Paul Pogba. 31 out of 36 passes. As you can see, just not as involved in the game as you would hope. And I'm going to look at the average position of the players in a second. In attack, chances created, it was 2. And again, a little bit central with both of those. We have a look at the influence of the players. Now, I've seen people not really fully understanding what the influence of the players was here. But as you can see, most of the United's influence there, the influence is by how big the name is. So the bigger the name is, so you see João Cancelo, Rodrigo, Stones, Fernandinho, that's where City held a lot of their possession. Same with United, we held it in our back four. We didn't really manage to get it forward at all. Rashford and Greenwood barely involved, Pogba barely involved. And we couldn't break. If I show you the passes are a really interesting one. If you look on the left-hand side there, that's United's passes. On the right-hand side is Manchester City's passes. You can see the amount of passes in the final third from United and from City, vastly different. Similar amount of possession from United and City, similar amount of completed passes. But if you look at that in the attacking third there, from Manchester United, essentially nothing. Manchester City had a lot more passes in the final third. United was just nothing in the final third. Quite a lot of chances created. Chances created is the pale blue colour. But it was just not enough getting in there for me, and I thought we could have definitely utilised Paul Pogba a lot better in that scenario to try and get him in. In terms of the players, you can see where City held their possession, where United held their possession, in terms of John Stones was the guy that was on the ball constantly. Good passer of the ball, John Stones, but I do think you can get around him defensively. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, the two most passing players for Manchester United. It is what it is. We didn't get on the ball. We didn't get our forward players on the ball. And unfortunately, I think that was it. As you can see there, 10 chances created from United, 7 from Manchester City, but Cities were a little bit higher in quality. So, you know, it is, I guess, what it is. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the questions. And I'm going to come and see what the Patreon group has got to say about this. Let's get that up and see what everybody is saying. Recruitment is key, says Ross. Look at Chelsea. They bought 6 signings. What are they, 2 points off us? Igalo would have been useful today, says Notch. I agree with you, actually, mate. And I think Cavani, if it had been available, would have been such a key player for United if he was given the opportunity. I think he would have absolutely smashed it for us. He would have found so much space, and I think United created numerous chances, but not enough high-quality chances. I'm almost certain that Cavani probably would have managed to get himself on the end of one of those. Let's see where the review is. Jay says, now the derby is out of the way, do you think we can go on a positive run in the league? Yeah, I think it's possible for us. Again, it requires patience, but I think the tools are there for us to get in the mix. Chelsea are losing, by the way. Interesting. At this point, should Pogba go in January or wait till the summer? I'd wait till the summer and make sure that we get a decent player in. When is a parade for a clean sheet? Nice to get a clean sheet, especially in such a big game. Maguire gets massive stick about performances, but we've played City 5 times since he joined. In the 4 he's played, we've won 3, drawn 1, conceding just once, and he didn't play, we conceded 3 and got battered. Is this the ultimate proof of his influence? On the face of that, yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic analysis, but yeah, I mean, Phil Jones, if that's the alternative, was dreadful in that. I mean, we conceded 3 in 45 minutes. That was the tie over with. Given that performance, what's my prediction for where we'll be post-Christmas? Difficult to say because I still think this United team lacks the strength in depth, and I think it needs more players that can come in and make things happen. We've got a lot of passengers, and I think having someone that could come in and smash it for us, the way Cavani has, even the way, just someone to be able to give Bruno a night off properly, someone to be able to give Marcus the night off properly would have a massive impact on us. I think Sheffield United and Leeds, next 2 games, winnable fixtures. Yes, mate. So say the same for Pep. What are people saying for Pep then? Cowardly is in both teams. That's literally what I said earlier. Yep. Check it out. Rashford hobbling around today badly. Another injury to add to the list. I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. United need a clean sheet after a draw against PSG, or a draw. Again, after PSG, Leipzig, just typically United got a clean sheet and a draw tonight. Oh, yeah, we needed it, yeah. If we sell Pogba, can you fit Grealish and Bruno into a team? Well, I think United were trying to. I don't necessarily understand how, but I think they were trying to. Donny obviously is an obvious one to come in, I think. But yeah, that was the greatest game I wish I never watched. It was a bit dry, wasn't it, to say the least. Righty then, just a nice quick one. You can't overanalyze fucking nothing that happened, I guess. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Cheers for tuning in. Do us a favour, like the video. Also check out the Patreon group if you'd like to support the channel. I'm going to be back over chatting to Ronaldo, Jay, Joe and all them guys downstairs in a minute. If you'd like to come and join us over on Stretford Paddock for the live reaction show that we're doing, head over down there and I'll see you over there in about 5 minutes. Laters.